India Charts publishes Nifty Daily, daily video updates, the weekly Elliott Wave Outlook, and the Long Shot Report, covering all asset classes.
This update was published on the eve of the budget, that is the evening after markets on the 29th of January. And if you enjoy these updates, these are sent out on a daily basis and you can simply get it by downloading the India Charts app on iOS or Android. So it's important that we take a relook at what has happened so far. Okay, we've gone on with the debate, will this fall become 3 waves or 5 waves, right? And the first time it was 5 waves was at this point, then it became a third wave, so then we had 3 in place, and now it's increasingly looking like we possibly have a 4th and a 5th as well. The signature of 5 wave declines are a couple of things. One is they fit channel, so you can, if you draw this falling trend line, you find it hits back at wave 2, then hits back at wave 4, and similarly goes to the bottom end of the channel as well. Though in the third wave sometimes you can, because it's extended, it broke below the line, but the 5th it comes right to the line. Other thing is, because third wave is extended, we also get equality between wave 1 and 5. Okay, so if I take this as wave 1, then 5 from the high to the low almost equal. I already mentioned in the morning the low point was around 11,590. We did a low of 11,006, which is like barely 10-20 points away, which is fine. The low is here showing as 13,596. So instead of 13,590, we did 13,596. So that's good. 1 and 5 are equal. The third is extended, and in terms of extended also, it may sometimes even fit the ideal 161% retracement ratios. So there it's a little more than that. If I take it this way, if I take it as a reverse ratio, it may be still slightly, it may be more exacting if I put it backwards. But anyway, anything which is up to 161% or more is an extended wave, and 5th being almost equal, I think mostly done, apart from what you may see on Monday, is what I would think. Now, of course, I've been thinking it's mostly done because initially I thought the 5 wave was done here, so I didn't think we will break 14,260, 200. Now that we have, what we are looking at is a larger 5 wave decline. Now, how do you interpret this 5 wave decline? There are 2 ways to interpret it, and this was the discussion I was trying to have in the previous video, explanatory video as well. That when we do 5 waves down, I have 2 options. The bearish option is to mark A, B and C. Now if I had only 3 waves, I could have marked it as A, B, C and said we are going to new highs. Okay, or it's an X wave. But usually new highs is a first option. But when you have a 5 wave decline, the risk is that if it's not ABC, if it's not an expanded flat, which I do think may be the better option, because I do think the bear market is not over. We've sort of gone below the trend line from the March low for a day, but if I take the trend line from the September low, then we haven't really gone below that. If you don't mind the knocking at the background, something's happening in my neighborhood. But the bearish alternate is that this 5 waves is wave A, we are going to only bounce in wave B, and then we are going to go down in wave C. Okay, and that means what we are looking at is a pullback that can retrace sometimes 61%, and sometimes, and I'm saying sometimes giving a higher number, because we are around an event. You don't know how exactly it behaves around this. And having had experience with these situations, I mean, the last one I can remember, I rarely remember during a bullish trend that markets fall for the last 5 days or on a 2-week basis close negative for the last 2 weeks prior to a budget. And so mostly what happens is markets may pause near the top end of the range if they still want to fall, or they'll rally into the budget and then fall afterwards. But if they've been declining for a while into the budget period and have broken particular levels before that, then more often than not they reverse to the other side. Now mostly, of course, if you have had a 3-month or more fall, then it's more likely it's a bottom there and then turns. In this case, it's 2 weeks. So on a 6-month basis, you're still at the high end of the range, which is where it becomes questionable. But even then, if I go back to 2001 or I go back to, 2001, I remember one particular example. This was much before the Ketan Parekh things happened, halfway through the Y2K bear market. The market had rallied back from October to February, and the budget was in March. The market started to fall from mid-Feb, and then it did a 78% retracement in the 2 days from the budget, because having fallen already, the announcements didn't have anything negative, and therefore the market bounced back thinking that, well, if there's nothing negative, then it's good to bounce. And the bounce back ended up being 78% retracement. So being such a big shot in the arm in 2 days, a lot of people started calling and asking whether the bull market was on. Now that time my view was, no, it's still in a bear market. My daily indicators are still in sell, so it's probably just a bounce. Now we don't know what will be the case on Tuesday. My sense this time is that we are not in a bear market, but still, if you're doing a larger ABC correction, then a pullback to 60 or 80% in a 1-2 day period on or after the budget, based on the announcements that you hear, and that's announcements means perception of the market, okay, because it's not whether we think it's good or bad, it's perception of the market, which means if there's nothing bad is also a positive, because you've already sold off so sharply. So based on perception, you get that kind of a swing. If it falters at one of the retracement levels, then you get your wave C down. So this is where, if anybody is thinking panic today, I mean, I would be surprised if your budget is so bad that after this so-called looking 5-wave decline Monday, you tank another 5-10%. That's it would be an outlier event, never happened before, because we've never seen a situation where budgets have had that kind of an effect, unless you're going to tax the whole world in a COVID year, which I think sounds completely bizarre. So unless you have bizarre thoughts about what you're going to hear, it's unlikely that it's going to be that crazy. So most probably, having fallen, you have discounted most of the negative, and there are only 2 outcomes. One is that the fall is over within a bullish trend, which means we start the rally to new highs, and that we have within a bullish trend also we can do a larger ABC correction, something that people have wanted, in which case the next bounce will not get past 61% or 78%. Both options open. If you tell me which one I'll choose the bullish one, which you go to new highs. But I have to highlight the alternate because it's always possible. And based on, well, then that would have to be based on your thought that this entire move is complete. And of course, today is the monthly close. And that's another reason why you would actually think about that, because at the end of the month, so if I just remove these studies, what you will see is that we actually closed down for the month. So on a monthly chart, you might end up looking at a Nifty it's not an inverted hammer for anybody who's looking at the candle, because inverted hammers require the open to close to be very, very tight, which is not the case. Like this was a hammer. You see this small little real body. If I look at candle charts, okay, so that's not the case here. But it's still a negative close. So since we closed down, now moving back to my bar chart, what we have is a situation where you can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have we really completed 5 waves? Okay, and I've also highlighted what if 5 becomes 9. But the only thing is, after 5, have we done ABC or not? So if it's a case of 5 going to 9, then it's an extension where you have to just continue after this. These 2-3 week corrections is what we have seen throughout. So this should be one more routine 2 week correction, just like many that we have seen before. Or else, if you have completed a larger 5 and you're doing a larger retracement, then we've only done wave A, you'll get a wave B bounce, and then you'll eventually decline in wave C. I think those are the situations which were also what I tried to explain in the long short report. That if we do a larger ABC, one thing is we go back to the wave 4 low of previous degree, whether we take that wave 4 low here. Okay, but then if I've been trying to take this entire as one swing, but yeah, if we take this wave 4 here, then that means not below 13,200. But if we've just done a 5 wave decline, what I've been trying to say is that even if we are doing 13,200, we may do wave B back to 14.4, 14.5, and then do wave C down to whatever that is, 13,200. So this is one situation. Can it be a still larger and deeper correction? Then wave C gets deeper, so then wave C is going to become something like this. Don't know. Looking at individual charts and sector counts, I don't think in fact, for the last many days, if you've seen what I'm marking on the dollar index, and I compare that to metals like copper, what I've been marking there is the September was 1 and 2, and then everything after that is 1 and 2. So I'm actually, and this is what shows up even if you look at the emerging market index. I'm not opening all the indices here, but if you've seen my post on the EEM index some time back, if you've seen my count on the dollar index, on copper, on a couple of these places, a lot of the Asian markets, it's actually more like this rather than 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in our case, because this I've marked as a fourth wave, we can take one here. So it would be more like this. So because all of them have done their second wave actually into October, which is here. And so if I want our counts to align with the emerging market index count or align with the dollar or the commodity cycles, then it would actually be that we completed 5 waves into October, did a second wave which appears very small, but is still near the lower trend line from the bottom that we've made in March. And then we only come back to that trend line today. On the daily chart, it may look like this trend line is broken. On the weekly chart, it still looks like not broken. So I'll give it a day, but yes, it did on the daily chart close below it. But if I take a trend line from the September low, we've only touched that. So keeping both in mind, we are still in the zone of, maybe okay. But yeah, if I go by the 1, 2, 1, 2 count, just pulling back to these lower trend lines, we should be due to start a third, in which case this should not be a large correction. It should be an ABC and done situation, which is what I'm anticipating. But yeah, the place where I will turn to the more bearish case is if the next bounce is 3 waves in length, which means if we are looking at an hourly chart, and that's where we'll be able to judge, okay, is if we are really looking at a hourly chart and we find that after this 5 wave decline, not only we are doing only 60-80%, but you see something like this. And wherever it ends, if it's a 3 wave bounce and it ends at a key retracement and turns down, then most probably it's the larger C. This is, I think, the way we'll be able to rule it out. But if this doesn't happen, that it's a 3 wave and turns over, then and if it continues impulsively, then it's the start of the next leg, which would then, in my mind, looking at if I have to match, then 3 of 3. But if I stick with the current counts, then also it is 5 of 3, and both scenarios, or 5 of a larger 5 wave. Both scenarios allow for one more rally to highs, to new highs in any case. So that's what we'll watch out for. So yeah, end of day senses today should have been, if it was not yesterday on expiry day, one day after expiration, today should be the exhaustion of, whatever leftover selling, because it comes from, margin sales and losses made. One of the news is similarly is losses made on GameStop. So they have to book their losses, and whoever got trapped in that, when they book their losses, some markets take pressure from that. So that's another reason that is circulating for these losses. In a domestic sense, I would say 4 days of decline is also a reason why some selling comes in from people who lost on and had to do margin sales or make up for their losses in the following day too, in terms of payments to brokers, and that sometimes causes a further selling on the day after expiration. It's after that, once you have exhausted, that you actually get the actual trend. And historically, the market always does the opposite that it has done prior to the budget, after the budget, in my experience. So if you rally into the budget, you fall afterwards. If you fall in before the budget, you sometimes will rally afterwards.